Guys, Tim Morse with Tactical Response. I'm going to do this video today. It's been on my mind because I see a lot of people doing 3-gun and IDPA and IPSC and all those competition sports. And they believe, some people probably believe that prepares them for protecting their family or themselves. I do not think that 3-gun or any of that stuff prepares you for protecting your family because it's a mindset thing. Now, I'm not telling you not to do 3-gun, and I'm not telling you it's not valuable to do those sports. It gets you behind the gun. It lets you manipulate the gun. It lets you work through problems, reloads and all those kind of things. So I think it is a valuable thing. Basically it's practice with your gun. But it doesn't have anything to do with the mindset. So training, real training, going to some place, and I'm recommending us naturally, but a Tactical Response, but you can go other places. I've got a recommendation, and I'll give you some of the recommendation I have right now. Pat McNamara, Clint Smith, Sonny Pazikas, Dave Harrington, John Farnham, Tom Gibbons, and Dave Biggers. He doesn't train much anymore because he's in the sales end of the business now, and that's what he's good at. He's good at training, and he's also good at sales, but he has one class that hopefully he'll keep putting on, hopefully once or twice a year, and it's called the Red Zone. And if you ever see him post anything about the Red Zone and he's going to do a class, that class is well worth the money to go do it. Okay, I won't elaborate on it, but it's a very, very good class. I've had it, I've helped him teach it, and I've had the class, and it's a very, very strong and good class for mindset and also for making you solve critical problems under stress. And again, the training end of it, I break down training in several categories. Number one, I will pay for any training as long as I know what it is going into it. In other words, their description of the class, such as it's a mindset class, I'm okay with that. If it's a skills-based class, which means no mindset but just skills-based, like shooting your gun, maybe they use a timer, maybe they don't. As long as I know that going into it, and that's what I want to do, I'm happy with it. I just hate when they misrepresent what they're teaching you or what the class is based upon. So when I vet a class, I look at the description of the class and I categorize it in those different areas like mindset, tactics, a skills class, maybe even a gear class. I've been to gear classes where all we do is sit around and talk about gear and stuff like that, and that's fine and dandy as long as you know that going into it. But again, I hate when they misrepresent that they're having a tactics class or something and it turns out to be a gear class or a skills-based only class. So get that training, and whatever you think you need the training, I will tell you the first thing I'd get training is the mindset end of it. Because it doesn't matter how good you are if you just won't do it because you don't understand when you need to do it. You don't understand the particulars of when it's a life and death situation. You're oblivious to that. Then the skill won't help you any. Your gun will stay in your holster and you'll never pull it out. And you'll probably die in place because you don't know anything about what's going on. Again, I have no problem with the sports events, IDPA and IPSC and all those things. It gets you time behind the gun, but just realize it's not going to prepare you for your gunfight if you have one. And everybody knows the best way to win a gunfight is don't get in one. So having your head up, looking around, the mindset part of it, and keeping your situational awareness on high alert when you're out in public will keep you from getting in those things. But I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I'll give you the answer that I think it is at the end of this video. But what do you guys think the most critical situation, shot, or event when it comes to protecting yourself and your family? What do you think what is the scariest scenario you could put yourself in that you might have to deal with in public or out and about? We see this a lot. Years ago when I first started with Tactical Response, I've been here 15 years or so. Years ago, and we still do it to this day, Jay or somebody will be out in front of the firing line with a camera taking pictures of a student while they're shooting, and the public just loses their ever-loving mind over it. Okay, and the video came out. It was called Downrange Photography, and the internet lost their ever-loving minds when they saw that. And I'll never train with Tactical Response. They're dangerous and all this stuff like this. Jay was never in any danger in any of our, when we take photographs, we're not right in front of the students. The students have a clear line to their target. They know what it is. We don't make any of them shoot. If they're not comfortable with it, we'll just do it go somewhere else and do it with somebody else that's okay with shooting with somebody in between them and the target. It's not directly in between. Again, they're all set. There's a clear shot to the target. There's no danger there. But if you have a problem with that, if you really have a problem with that, how do you think you're going to react in public? There's going to be a hell of a lot more people in front of you and around you in public if you have to make a critical shot than Jay or I or anybody else taking photographs offset from you while you're shooting a paper target. So I think you guys are under misconception that if you get in a gunfight, it's going to be you and the bad guy, and you're going to have cover, and he doesn't, and there's not going to be anybody else around him when you have to shoot him or stop him from doing what he's doing. So that's a misconception you guys have, and I'm not saying go home and put your loved one next to a target and shoot the paper target. I'm not saying that at all, but you do need to think about that, and you do need to realize that that's probably going to be the situation 9 times out of 10. The likelihood of you and that other person being the only two in the area is remote. The process of competence, if you want to have the mindset and you want to have the competence to do these things, you have to practice them, guys. You can't just put this crap on the shelf or look at a video and say, okay, that's the way to do it. You have to go out and do it. I don't need a timer, and again, I know they do it in the sporting events things because that's the way they gauge people. You know, this guy shot this target in 4 seconds, and the other guy shot it in 0.5, so we know who won. That's all well and good, and again, I'm not disparaging anybody from doing that, but just realize that's not going to be part of your gunfight. I've never heard a timer go off in my ear when I was shooting for real, when the money was on the table. I've never heard a timer go off in my ear. And it never was even important. So I mentioned earlier in this video, what did you think the most critical shot you'd ever have to make in your life? And my scenario always has a hostage shot. And what I mean by hostage shot, not just any hostage, but somebody I care about and I love. One of my cohorts, one of my family, somebody like that. And so you're going to get a half a face. The guy's going to be behind your loved one and holding them at gunpoint, or maybe having a knife to their head. Whatever the weapon is makes no difference. But if that's the most critical shot you'll ever have to make, then I suggest you start doing that now, practicing that shot now until you can't mess it up. James said this years ago, and I believe it to be 100% true. Amateurs practice till they get it right, and professionals practice till they can't get it wrong. And so if you want to be good at that shot, if you want to be able to make that shot, and the problem with that shot is if you've never done it before, is the unknown. And the unknown will screw you up every time. The unknown will make you hesitate, will make you not even do it, will make you think of something else, an alternative that's not as precise and not as correct as what you should be doing right now. So if you've never done that shot before, if you had to do it right now, somebody took your loved one up right now and you had to do it, most of us in the beginning couldn't have made that shot. It's just too overwhelming. We've never done it before. There's so much unknown in there. There's so much chance we're going to miss. We're not as proficient as we think we are. So how I would tell you to do that is go home, post a target up, and post it up at legitimate distances. I don't expect you guys to do a hostage shot at 50 yards. It's just unrealistic. Number one, you're not going to be that far away because bad guys can't rob you or threaten you at 50 yards. So it's going to be up close and personal. So I would say within 7 yards and in, be able to make this hostage shot. And all it's going to pertain to is you getting your gun out, starting from low ready, because that's probably where you'll be at. And from low ready, bring the gun up and make a critical hostage shot. And how you do it in the beginning is just take a target and take a piece of tape. It don't even have to be a target. Just take a piece of cardboard, post it up, and put a piece of tape on that cardboard and simulate that's where the guy's right side of his face or left side of his face would be. And then make that shot and hit that piece of tape and keep doing it. How you get good at this, guys, is knowing the fundamentals and implementing them every time without delay and without changing anything. The 4 fundamentals: sight alignment, sight picture, trigger control, and follow through. Do those 4 things, and you don't even have to use a timer. I wouldn't even use a timer. Timer's not important to me. you'll know when you get better at it, because number one, you'll be making the shot. And number two, you'll know without a timer that you're getting faster, okay? And speed is not the most important thing here. The most important thing is that shot being where it needs to be every time. So in closing, if that's your most critical shot, which it is to me, that's what I think about all the time, is that hostage shot. Every time I go to the range, whether I'm in a public range where, even if they won't let me draw from the holster, if I'm in one of them crazy places, lay the gun on the counter or, on the shooting booth there, put that piece of tape on it, start at 3 yards, move it to 5, move it to 7. Anywhere within 7 yards, you need to be able to make this shot. And just when you tell yourself go, bring that gun up and make that shot. And if you get good at it, start out close, start out at 3 yards and move it back to 7, where you can do it anywhere between 3 and 7 yards. Get good at that shot. And if you're good at that shot, if that situation ever happens, you can think to yourself, screw that guy. I did this last week. I practiced this last week. And he's lost and he doesn't even know it. So in closing, this was about, in a nutshell, it was about, IDPA and IPSC type training, preparing you for the real world. And again, I don't believe it does. I believe you need to go get training. And again, you don't have to get it from us. You can get it from anybody that I listed, or you can get it from somebody I haven't even listed. There's plenty of trainers out there, but go get some competent training. Set yourself up for success. Set yourself up for not even getting in the gunfight. The mindset will keep you out of the gunfight. Your head up looking around will keep you from being picked as a victim. So do those things. In closing, thank you for watching. Comment in below if you have any disagreements with this, or you think there's something better to do, or there's a better option for the hostage shot, or the most critical shot, or tell me what you think the most critical shot is that you think you'd ever have to make. In closing, thanks for watching again. Tim Morse, Attack Response. And remember, your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.
Tim Morse, he's a man of his own, with the rhythm in his soul. He's never alone. He's got a shot